Hey guys, gals, and MBs, I'm here today with my replacement Prophet 6, and I'm also going to be doing an unboxing of the OB6. We're just going to unbox it together and see if there's any major defects and what's going on. As you'll see from some pictures I took, Sweetwater really did a good job on packaging this stuff and sending it to me. They're excellent to deal with. I'm just going to say that. I've actually never had a problem with dealing with them to get a replacement. I've had stuff come through them that has had issues, but they've always stepped up and at least helped me out and quickly, which is phenomenal. So honestly, they're really the only retailer I go for music stuff, especially on anything over like $200. It's just, yeah, you have that peace of mind at least, which is really nice. You don't have to deal with, you deal with onshore support and everything. And that's the other thing I want to bring up with Sequential. The reason I'm staying with them, and I really want to, I've had very good support with them and Novation in particular. Both companies, Sequential and Novation, they're all under the Focusrite umbrella now. And I want to continue dealing with a company that stands behind their product and things like that, even if they do have some quality control issues, which I hope they really look into. I hope if they see this video, that they can understand I'm trying to inform the consumer, and hopefully there will be some action taken on their quality control stance. That said, let's go ahead and open this up. I've never done an unboxing video. It's a little different this time. We're seeing what the quality's like so you can see together. Again, it was packaged very well. The box is in phenomenal shape inside of it. Had a bunch of padding. So let me look at my monitor here. Yeah. I'll go a little bit silent while I'm trying to open it. So let's do that. I'm lifting it up. I always lift it up and cut as shallowly as possible when I'm opening packages because I don't know what's underneath. I do know what's underneath with these because I've opened quite a few, unfortunately, with having to return so many Sequential products and get returns. But we're backwards. Oh no! All right. So let me see there on the monitor. I'm still dealing with a little bit of heat exhaustion, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. Sorry about that, but I'm getting over it. So yeah, not the best idea to not drink when it's hot out. So let me get it out of the box. Do that now. Hold on, I'm going to take this off camera really quick. I'm not going to cut. I'm just taking the box away. And in the box we have, funnily enough, they use monoprice power cables. I assume they're near monoprice or something, maybe, or they do sell cheap cables. And they're pretty good power cables for just. I've never had. Okay, no, I take that back. I've had a bad IEC mains cable before, but that was like something from the 80s when I was. Like in the early 90s, I collected a lot of old vintage computers, but I had some really sus IEC cables. So, yeah, most IEC cables these days, if they're UL listed, they're pretty good. All right. Sorry about that. We're doing this as nicely as possible. All right. So I'm kind of doing the unboxing so we can see how I take care of things. I don't know. There's just mean people on the internet saying that, they'll always say it's your fault for something that's happened in a manufacturing issue. Look at the Tesla crowd. All right, here we go. We're going to be super careful. I'm always super careful with packaging, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to take it like this. We're going to go ahead and take off these are actually really well packaged. And the interesting thing is I think they can make it through shipping without any external packaging. Usually it looks like Sequential stuff is just packed in almost the exact same size outer box. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. Try not to put any pressure on any of the knobs. We're going to do that with this packaging as well. So just bear with me while we look at it. Looks really good. All right, we're going to figure out where it is taped at on this one. All right. I don't want to put any pressure on the knobs. So here we go. It looks like it is on this side, and I'm reaching under to grab the tape off. Okay, so this is so stressful because I'm doing it on camera, but you know. All right, so this is open. I am currently trying to take the packaging off without putting any stress on any of the knobs. And it is very hard to do. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do this a little differently. We're gonna bring in a pair of scissors. I don't really care about the outer packaging. I mean, it's just plastic. So we're gonna cut up like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and just very gently, I'm barely putting any pressure on this. We're just gonna go ahead and take it this way. And I mean, like I said, I want to keep this equipment. This is kind of like my lifetime synths, the ones that I want to keep for life, like my Novation Peak and my Take 5 and things like that, and my Trigon, actually. All right. There we go. All right, let's give it a once-over before we plug it in over here. Let's grab some cables. Oh, there might have been a little bit of 60 hertz hum because I'm recording that channel right now, but okay, feeling the buttons. A little bit of shmoo there. What is that? Oh no, what do we have? Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. We have something right there. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly take a look at it. Oh, it's a bubble in the paint. I can live with that. It's just a bubble in whatever finish that is. That's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that. Buttons so far all very clicky. Fantastic. Yeah, the knobs. Okay. Did they like know? Oh man, these, I'm not even kidding. Like, these are actually, I don't want to be cynical, but do they have special SKUs for people like me that are just overly sensitive about things like this? Okay, well, that's not the major issue. That was a secondary issue. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to reach over really quick. And I have a little bit of a mirror right here that I can use to see the back of the synth. All right. Trying to stay out of frame. You guys don't want to see me, you want to see the synth, right? Okay, now I can see the back of the synth. That's the big thing. All right, so let's see. This is the right channel. Sorry for the hum. This is the left channel. Okay, and that's phones. And then I have already an IEC mains. This is the one that came with the Take 5, which is not a monoprice cable because that synth was not made in the US. That was actually made in China. This is made in the US. Another reason that I want to support Sequential, especially with their high-end synths. I want to see more stuff made in the US. They don't want to, I mean, I don't have a huge issue. I mean, I love supporting certain Asian countries like Taiwan and Japan, of course. But yeah, I would just rather see it made somewhere nice, like the U.S. or Japan or Taiwan. So, all right, we got the MIDI in here. All right, I'm just off screen. We're gonna have one of my favorite Novation devices. I should state, I always state, but I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. But I love Novation stuff, especially this launch pad is like battle worn by now. Has so much scuffing and scratching on it. Just from use, like my fingernails are obviously gonna cause it to do things, but I love this thing. The sequencer alone, that's the reason I have it. All right, off camera. Hopefully All right, that's powering up. All right, cool. So master volume. These potentiometers feel a hell of a lot better. These are a little loose, but that's fine. These are special ones. These have a middle indent. Not sure what they call that, like technically. I should know. These are called digitest switches. I love these things. These are a knockoff of I shouldn't say they're a knockoff. They're a clone of another switch that was like very predominant in the 80s. There's a few companies that made it. I believe Omron made it. There's one of those other like companies made these, but I love them. All right. That said, it's powered on. All right. So one thing that you should know about all these synths that are based on this platform. So I brought this up in other videos, I believe. The Trigon and the OB6 and obviously now the Prophet 6 is they have a way to check the internal temperature. And to do that, you would use, on this case, it's going to be hold and glide, and then you press 3. So we're at 33 degrees. It's probably around 78 degrees in here. I don't know what that is in degrees science. So we're using degrees John Wayne, of course, which I should know because I'm actually German, but, you know, whatever. I should remember my Celsius centigrade. But, yeah, okay, that said, we're good. Okay, we're going to check all the switches in a second first, but we're going to see if this thing actually makes a sound. So we're going to use patch 0. We'll do an init patch in a second, but oh, we have sound. Can't tell if that's the patch or if it's out of tune, but let's do an init patch preset, right? Okay. Let's see here. It's a little from my ears. It's a little wrong. Let's use another oscillator and we can tell. Oh yeah, that's awful. That's really bad. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's not tuned yet. So to tune, we press preset and we press 0. And here we go. We were freezing on my last one in the Fs, which is the filter section. Yeah, so far I really like it. Or the Ls, I'm sorry. Ls make sense because this has a low pass and a high pass. So this is going way faster too. So L is the low pass filter and H is the high pass filter. So it's calibrating them right now. And yeah, we'll get to it in a second. But so far, I'm not putting very much pressure on these at all. The other ones wiggled when you like even looked at them funny. So yeah, these are encoders. Yeah, so far everything. These are a little loose because they're encoders. They're just different. They're indented encoders, which I like. I don't like smooth encoders. One thing I should bring up, and somebody brought this up in my comments, one of my viewers. They said Waldorf. Yeah, Waldorf, especially the Blofeld, those encoders, while they're great when you first get them, they go weirdly out of spec after a while. So, okay, we're tuned. Oh, one thing you have to notice, if you tune this and you are using something that you were working on, it's going to revert back to the preset. So make sure you save stuff that you really care about before you tune. But yeah, these switches feel great. I love these switches again. I'm going to say that. I was so on the fence of getting an the OB8X or whatever the designation is, just because it was full of these switches and not these switches. Though a lot of people say that these have not a high reliability, but if these are the C and K Digitast ones, which, you know, if someone from Sequential is watching, can you let me know if these are the C and K ones? These have like a 5 million button press life in the momentary mode because they make a latching type as well. But 5 million button presses, that's really good. And yeah, so I was just showing you that so you go back to the preset. So it's tuning just fine. I did it again. You shouldn't tune it here. One thing I will say, you shouldn't tune it a whole bunch of times at the same temperatures, because what you're doing is you're going to put conflicting temperature calibration data in the calibration tables, or so I was told by one of their support engineers, which went into great detail, which is one reason I want to stay with Sequential. They don't talk down to you. It's not like they're saying something like completely stupid to you to make you feel bad. And they figured that I had a technical knowledge, and I do. So, yeah. So far, we're doing good. We're doing good. I wanted to init patch it. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's nice. Whoops. All right, let's go ahead and test all of the voice cards. So we're going to have all the oscillators on. Let's just do one oscillator at a time. Let's do oscillator 1. This should be cycling through. This is also a good video to see how you should test like a used synth or something. You can use my thing. So I'm testing all of the voices. So I'm testing oscillator 1. They all went through. It should go like, it should hit each voice card every new note. So let's go with oscillator 2. No dead notes. Then we're going to go with the sub-octave, which is a triangle. Some people were saying, I guess it was miles away, which I do respect his opinion and I love his videos, but I will say one thing I like about this is the sub-octave being triangle I like, and he didn't like that portion of it, but that's actually the reason I got it. Some people were saying you don't buy a Prophet for the sub-octave to be a triangle, and the funny thing is I love triangles as a sub-octave, and it's unique, unless you have a 3 like voice synth, but yeah, there we go. Let's switch both oscillators to square, make sure those are all good. Yeah, and damn, we're good. So at least functionality-wise, we're good so far. All right, I'm going to try not to press a key after what we're about to do. So yeah, not for the faint of heart. We're going to press all of the buttons. So let's see. We're going to go here. That's working just fine. We're good there. LFO sync good. We're also checking to see if the LEDs underneath work. So frequency works. That works. Yep. Really. Oh, yeah. These are nice. Okay. No weird click. They all seem very consistent. Let's do tap tempo. Let's press over here. I'm pressing as lightly as I can to get it to activate the click point. So I believe in these kind of switches, what you have is, I'm not sure if these are metal dome. These are like metal dome surface things, but I think the click action is created by like a physical portion in it, and it's not the contacts touching. I mean, I hope it's not the contacts creating that. Maybe it is. But it's like a Cherry MX switch almost in some cases. If you look at an MX Blue switch or whatever, that click isn't generated by the leaf spring. It's actually generated by a little plastic dimple inside the switch. So yeah, and you can tell I love talking about synths and technical stuff. Guess it's the autism. Yeah, so... All right, so we're good. So yeah, again, bear with me. I'm going to be a little technical nerdy here. Everything seems really damn good. Okay, these are just, yep, we got good. Key mode. These aren't the most useful switches to me, but, you know, pan spread is super useful. Did we test these? I don't know. We're going to... Yeah, let's do record. That's the... Each init patch has a built-in, like, little tune. It's good for testing because then we can test without MIDI plugged in, so we can see if it's your MIDI controller causing things. I can see where MIDI can cause things, but, you know, okay. Let's check the encoders. The encoders look good. No weird skipping. I did really fast, so... So the thing I was going to go with, I like indents on my encoders. So the thing with like the walled-off Blofeld, those do not have any indents. So you see a little bit of off-axis play with those. That's not wobble. That's just that's these knobs in particular. They all kind of have this weird off-axis play if you look at it. It's not, the other synth that I've had with this is... the Hydrasynth. They're very similar knobs, actually, on how they're like two parts and they're glued together. So yeah, I can deal with that. That's not a big deal. There's no wobble. So yeah, so all the encoders seem to work just fine. Oh God. With everything up, I kind of want to hear what this sounds like with what I've been changing. Okay, nothing weird. Oh, because I was only sending it to Aftertouch and things like that. We're good. Okay, yeah, so far... The Prophet 6, I almost called it the Prophet 5. The Prophet 6 is really, really good. And other than a little bit of a blemish here, which I'm not going to take off points for, that's just a paint job. I can live with that. There's a little bit of weird fringing on the logo. I'll show that in a minute. I think there might be a protective film over the logo. I can ask about that before I try to peel it off. But so far, I can live with this. This is good. And let's make sure the switches all work too. I mean, they click, and they're all very consistent. So, yeah, I'm trying to be positive here because I was just so frustrated with my last two sequential synths. But this is kind of proving that it was just a bad day. Maybe they were made on a Friday. I'm going to guess. I wonder if Sequential can reach out to me if they don't hate me over all this yet and tell me if the serial numbers match up with a Friday. So, yeah. So these all work. We're good. Well, we know these work because we checked the temperature and they're all very responsive. Yeah, now we're up to 44. I got this up to about 55. This is the hottest running synth that I have out of the lineup. Even the Trigon, I'm going to call it the Trigon gun. Sorry, but that's hilarious. The Trigon even got not as warm as my other one, so maybe there was a defect with it. That got up to like 56 degrees. My Trigon has only ever pushed about 53, I think. So yeah, that's quite a bit of difference, 56 versus 53, because we're talking centigrade there. That's a lot. So yeah, I've seen some threads where at least the OB6 was not calibrating when it was hot. So let's just see. Like I said, we're now at 45. Okay. So let's give it one more calibration before we call this one good. I mean, I'm going to verify. We'll have a video about this soon. The reason I got a Prophet 6 is because I'm going to do it head-to-head with the Behringer, and we'll see which one's better. And I can already tell you because of how the oscillators themselves sound, this sounds better just as raw oscillator sounds. The filters sound very close, but you have a high pass on this, and the Behringer Pro 800 doesn't have that. So, and obviously this should hopefully sound better. And this has effects, and this has stereo VCAs and all that cool stuff. So yeah, it tuned. It absolutely tuned. So let's just go here. Let's do it in it. Let's hear our triangle. I love triangle waveforms because I love flutes. All right, we're already up to 22 minutes. I'm going to cut here in a second. We're going to go to the OB6. I'm going to put timestamps in this, so don't worry, I'll put it. There will be somebody out there that'll be like, oh, your videos are too long, you're too long-winded, you suck, things like that. I mean, somebody just made fun of my avatar the other day, but, you know, whatever. Screw them, basically. Yeah, I don't know what to feel at this point. I'm really happy. I hope it's not short-lived. I hope I don't find another issue with it. I didn't see what firmware we got on when we first got this, so here's one thing. People were telling me to switch back to... This has 1.78. I think their newest firmware, 1.8, might be faulty, and that was what was causing my unit to not tune properly. Now, people were saying go back to an old firmware because they were having problems with 1.8. I think that's the one it was. You can't. I looked this up. If your unit shipped with 1.8, going back apparently will brick the unit, which makes sense. They probably changed some components on the inside that they don't have specific information in the firmware to compensate or control for. So I didn't want to brick my unit, so I'm not obviously going to be stupid and do something like that. We'll see what the OB6 is. Both my OB6 and my Prophet 6 that were defective, and I had tuning issues on my OB6 too. It would hang, but it would go, but it would hang for like 5 minutes. My other Prophet 6 would hang for like an hour and do nothing, so I never got it to tune after the first go. But yeah, that said, so far so good. I'm gonna shut it down. We're gonna go ahead and unplug the things. I'll show you the little bit of issue that I have on the front panel. We got to be careful because I don't want to cause too much of a thing. That looks, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm going to live with that. I'm not going to pick at that, but I don't know if you can see it. Let me look at the camera. I'm not sure if that's gonna like pick up, but there's like a bit of plastic and stuff around that. It looks like it is just a protective plastic coating, but I'm gonna contact Sequential's awesome support. I'm not being sarcastic. Like I said, their support is phenomenal, and that's why I'm giving this another go. The OB6 will be try 3. This is try number 2. So this is an older unit, I'm guessing, because it came with 1.6. And yeah, so far so good. I love the wood. The wood is very nice. You get that with Behringer as well, but the wood on Behringer shit is always scratched. Always scratched. What serial number do we have? We have 2839. 2839. I'm looking at my other Prophet 6 over here. We have hold on. 2839 on this one. Just bear with me really quick. Okay, so my defective unit is 2869, and the big difference on the box is that it has a sequential 50th anniversary sticker on it. So I'm guessing the tuning issue is related to firmware, and maybe it's a hardware defect too, but like I said, I can't go back to a previous firmware. So yeah, so check your quality control, please, Sequential. When you see me next in this video, it is going to be a long one. I'm so sorry. It's going to be over 50 minutes, but like I said, I'll put in timestamps. We'll look at the OB6. So far, so good. Again, the little paint defect is not bad because it's not like it looks like it'll flake off. It might have. I'm not sure exactly, but whatever. Like most synths will have some kind of finish defect on it if you look hard enough. It's mainly when there's a functionality issue and like every single damn knob is just wiggle. These knobs are actually really good. These feel like the ones on the Trigon. I was going to say the Trigon potentiometers are very nice. The ones on the other Prophet 6, so they must be switching suppliers in and out based on parts availability. Sequential might want to get with their parts supplier on the last batch because those were god-awful. Yeah, that said, we will switch to the OB6 here in a second. All right, we're back with the OB6, and this one is very new. It looks like it was shipped to Sweetwater in March, so at least from the outer packaging. So let's go ahead and open it. We're going to be super careful again. Like I said, I do this. I make sure that not to go super deep. Let's yeah, it's just a little bit of packaging. Making sure I'm recording too. Yeah, we're good. This is really, really stressful to me because, you know how nasty people can be about you doing something wrong. Oh no, we're in boxception. I thought this was gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna cut this in a second. We're gonna get to the. I should have known because there was outer stuff. I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna take the inner box out. All right, so all I did was carefully take it out of the outer box. I should have known there was shipping information on the outer box to Sweetwater. And like I said, they ship it in a box that's almost the exact same size as this. It's a little hard to get out because of physics and how vacuums are created between two boxes and things like that. But yeah, we're here. So nice boxing. Looks in good shape. Got my knife. I work in a facility where we're not allowed to use knives. I'm not going to say where I work, but it's very safety conscious. I do work with certain devices that can be unsafe, so I can see why they would do that. All right. Okay, did it again. I went the wrong side. That said, let's get the power cord. Another monoprice power cable. All right, so let me go ahead and carefully take this out. Give me a second. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. That's why I kept that in, so you can see what I'm doing, so you can see that I'm very careful. All right, we're gonna get the nice foam. I love this foam, by the way. It's like they care about their instrument enough to pack it this well, but again, the quality control in the last few have been, yeah, you know how that is. Okay, we're good. All right, let's find the tape again. I'm trying to reach for it, looking for the tape. Being super gentle, not to put on pressure onto the potentiometers. So, fun fact: potentiometers don't generally like a lot of horizontal force on them. The up and down motion, or as they like to call it, axial force on a potentiometer is generally fine, but moving it left and right, up and down like that is generally not good for the metal housing on these things. So this one slipped out like perfectly. Okay, this, yeah, here we go. This looks gorgeous. Okay. Checking the switches. All feel very nice. Cool. Okay, so we're off to a good start. The Digitas switches are really good. All right, let's go here. Sorry for the hum. And there we go. All right, we'll go ahead and plug in power now. And then we will go ahead and plug in the MIDI. All right, so let's see. MIDI on. All right, we are good. So I'm just plugged into my Novation Launchpad Pro Mark III again. We're going to power it up. Ooh, we got a pop there. Ooh, 1.8. Oof, not looking forward to potentially slow tuning on this. But let's see if the keyboard switch works. Before we make noise with this, let's see if every switch works, because that was my problem on the OB6, other than slow tuning. At least it did tune eventually. Okay, so, yep, barely. See, barely have to press it, just barely, unlike the other one, if you saw my other video. All right, so cool. So let's just... Oh, yeah. Was that on by default? Let's do an init patch. No. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so PWM was on, so good. It's not misfiring. That's what I'm trying to get at. So we're good. LFO sync, OFX, AMB, clock sync. Let's try tap. I'm trying at the very edge. Try at the very edge over here. Tap tempo isn't the worst thing if it wasn't working. I'd be sad. I mean, yeah, I would have to disclose that if I were to ever sell it, but yeah, that one looks okay. But it's not like the keyboard switch, which is a big deal for me if I want to use it as an LFO, which I do, or a drone oscillator. So, oh no, we have a frequency. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. No. Okay, I guess it's coming back to life. No. Our F mode switch is a little weird on the aftertouch. I can live with that. I don't use aftertouch all that much, and it's a weird one to use for aftertouch. Oh, it's coming back to life. It's coming back to life. It just needs, let's give it a few clicks there. We're good. Now it's taking just fine. Okay, cool. Let's try velocity. Yeah, that one's a little sus. We'll see. I think we're good. Does this work? Does the bandpass work? Yeah. Does record work? Does play work? Well, we don't have the volume up, so it's probably for the best. Yeah, this one's... We'll come back to that in a second. We'll let it warm up. Maybe it was a little dirty. It's fine. Shouldn't be, because I think that's just that's a sealed tact switch. No, it's coming back to life. I'll press it from the side gently. Yeah, it's come back to life. It was just a little weird. That can be maybe a little debris inside of it during the soldering process. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right, so let's see if all these switches work. Oops. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We're in global. That's transpose. We're fine. Are we back? Let's make sure. Transpose is 0. Okay, cool. Well, then we know these work. You can use these as browse switches too. So if you hold one and you push this, it'll go up, and if you do this, it'll go down. Obviously, it's something else you might not know, but yeah, we're good. And let's just try the frequency mode button again. We're good. Okay, yeah, all buttons are fine. So let's go ahead, turn up the volume. Let's do an init patch. Ooh, yeah, that sucker's out of tune. Can just tell immediately. You'll hear it against the second oscillator. This will sound awful. Hear that ringing? Okay, so let's tune it. Let's see if the tuning works. Let's check our internal temperature, shall we? 35. Okay, so first tuning of the synth. Okay. My other OB6 would get very slow at tuning around the 40s, and then it would be fine in the higher temperatures and the lower temperatures. So something's up with their firmware. They need to look at that up. Here we go. It's getting the filters. It's going a little slow on this. My Trigon just breezes through the filtering. Oh, this is going pretty good. Okay. I mean, I don't want to say anything just yet. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not even touching the MIDI. Yep. So yeah, it seems to be tuning okay. 41, sticking there a little bit. Yeah, that's what the other OB6 did a little bit too. It would stick in the tuning here. So I'm going to bring this up with their support specifically because all the switches work on this. This very well may be a firmware issue. So yeah, we're potentially looking at a firmware issue because my Prophet 6 that was not tuning was on version 1.8, and my OB6, which was being very weird about tuning the filters at specific temperatures, was also sticking right around here. This one would move on my other OB6, but yeah, we're completely frozen. I don't know what else we can talk about while we wait for that to go. I mean, I guess what I will do is I will let it. I'm gonna go grab my phone really quick. It's sitting next to me, but it's kind of out of shot, like direct shot. I can. We can go ahead and do a timer. All right. Kind of unfortunate. Not looking good for their firmware. All right. So let's bring up a stopwatch. And I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. So that took quite a bit of time, about 40 seconds, just go through the filter tuning. As you saw from like the Prophet 6, it was super fast. So maybe that is just once out while we do that. I will keep an eye on that. I'm going to open up a ticket with Sequential about that, and we'll see what's going on specifically with that. I really hope I don't have another defective unit. Let's try that frequency mode switch again. Okay, you know what? Frequency mode switch is working just fine. Not a big deal. That's not the one I care about. I care about this one. I care about these two actually. And I care about the sync and this. And we're doing good. All right, let's do that and let's listen to it. Let's go through and test all of the oscillators. So okay. That's panned over quite a bit on that oscillator. That's interesting. Let me see if that's... Oh, that just might be my settings on my mixer. Okay. But yeah, okay, so let's go back to this one. Okay, looks like those are all good. Let's try this up. see if the pan spread works just fine. Yeah, I might have a bad setting on my mixer for the pan being off a little to the right. I'll fix that in post if that's actually the case. I think that is. Let me double check. Let's see now. Yeah, I had one of my faders set incorrectly, so yeah, I'll edit that part out where I was trying to fix that. Okay, so yeah, so everything seems fine now. Let's try the pulse on all of them. Let's go to pulse. Let's do this. We're good. Cool. So looks like all the voices are alive and all the buttons seem to work. Tuning is a little iffy. I think that is a firmware bug. Like I said, I'll open up a ticket and I'll make a future video about that potentially, or we'll figure it out. So yeah, and these knobs, I didn't have a problem with these. These are just solid. So I'm not going to put too much horizontal and vertical like pressure on them, but these were solid on the other unit too, so I don't have a problem. Some people were saying their OB6 had wiggly knobs. I had the opposite. The Prophet had the wobbly knobs. Oh, we didn't try. Yeah, we did try this, so all those switches work. That was the one that was a little iffy right here, like I said, but we're good. It just needed to be woken up. Yeah. All right, so that said, the OB6, this is an extremely long video, so sorry about that, but yeah, I hope I imparted a little bit of knowledge of how I check things and things like that. Oh, we didn't check the encoders, but they're probably good. I don't think I've had an encoder problem with their synths, so yeah, that's working just fine. Fantastic. All the lights seem to work. Yep. Fantastic. I love it. Let's give it a quick tune again, and let's see if it takes a little less time while we're talking about it. But yeah, the build quality is phenomenal on this one so far. There's no blemishes. I don't see any blemishes. We'll give it a little once over when we're done. But yeah, we'll see. Where did it stop last? It was it was definitely on the filter. Oh no, we're going past it. So maybe it just didn't have enough data in it. So no, there it goes. Okay, we're good. We're going to call that a firmware fluke, and I'll bring it up with them. I can send them this. Like I said, if they're still willing to talk to me, but I'm sure their support is awesome, and they won't take my last video as too much credit. Well, they should take it as criticism to fix their quality control. I'm rambling again. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, so yeah, it's still working. Yeah, we'll check that out when it gets a little warmer. I'll check that out off camera, and I'm going to check it when it's cold again and see. Hopefully it's not like a intermittent issue at temperature, but we're probably not that hot right now. Yeah, we're 44 degrees. Okay. So yeah, everything seems to work. And I really wanted this one to work because I just love the Oberheim sound. I was on the fence of trying to go up a model, the OB8X, I think the UB8X, whatever, their flagship model. I would have paid the extra to have a pristine model with all these digitest. I want to call them digitact switches, but they're digitest switches, and across the board, because those seem to be a little more reliable. At least they can be made to work again if they have a little bit of switch bounce and things like that. That keyboard switch on my last synth, even I tried their cleaning routine where you're supposed to press it 100 times, and it did absolutely nothing. I think it made it worse. I think that seems to be a thing. So yeah, I pressed it lightly on the side about 100 times, and we got nothing on that. Okay, again, I'm just rambling now, but I'm super stoked that everything seems to be working. I will give it a few days. I'm going to send back the defective units. I'm going to send my findings over to Sequential. I don't know if they've seen the video yet. I've never sent it over to them, but I've had a bunch of external views from Gmail, oddly enough, and I mean Discord to be expected, but Gmail, they could be using Gmail internally. I know they use Fresh Service. I think they use Fresh Service for their ticketing system. It might be another system, but it looks very, very familiar. We use Fresh Service at work. So, yeah. They might be using something like Zendesk or Freshdesk or one of those, one of those things. It's not Jira, at least. Sorry, I'm rambling again. Yeah, so stoked. Everything seems to work. Tuning is a little slow. My other OB6 had a slow tuning as well. It wasn't like the Prophet where it would just freeze and crash. I do see that a lot of people were having issues with 1.8 and tuning. So maybe their tuning algorithm is just foobarred, and I'll bring that up with them. Again, I cannot go back a firmware. This shipped with 1.8. I'll brick it if I go to a 1.78. I know they took off 1.8 off their website because there must be some internal problems with that. Hopefully they'll be fixing it because I really want to use this. I will say I just read something really interesting about Tom Oberheim. He just talked about clones of his synths, and he seemed to be very receptive to them, which is really interesting. It's just an aside, so it's like I want to support them even more because, like, Tom Oberheim, for instance, is he's not a douche. He seems like a just upstanding engineer, and that just wants people to really enjoy his instruments. So I do enjoy their instruments. Again, yeah. So that's why I'm staying with it. Before people are like, why are you staying with them, giving them just so much more of your time? Because I really like the way they sound, and I'm excited to use them in my videos. And if the very few people I doubt have made it this far, so again, I'm going to have some timestamps and stuff in there so you can help yourself out to things. But yeah, I'm talking and pressing buttons now, and I think we can call it quits. That this one seems to work. Again, the F mode here, yeah, press F for, condolences, but the F mode seems to have come to life after pressing it a few times. There was no getting the keyboard switch on my other OB6 to work, and the pots on this are absolutely solid. These are one piece like knobs, so they don't have a weird concentric issue. Like, you see how they're just nice, and I don't know, they're just nice. That's the nicest way I can put it. The nicest way. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching. Hey, if you've made it this far, you're like a true fan. Super thanks to you. If you haven't subscribed to me, go ahead and subscribe to me if you like these kind of videos. And I'll be back soon. I am hoping to make a comparison, like I said, between the Pro 800 and a real Prophet. And yeah. So things like that. I'm obviously... Oh, the other thing I wanted to do, why I wanted all these synths, one thing that I'm really interested in doing is trying to make wave tables out of the raw oscillators and throwing that on the Novation Peak and seeing how close they sound. If that's something that's like super interesting, I think it's super interesting, but I think we'll have some fun with it. I guess while I'm just rambling on that, we'll just give it another quick tune, make sure it doesn't freeze. Yeah, so just also the other aside before people say, hey, I didn't go through all the troubleshooting, I totally cleared the calibration tables on the Prophet to make sure that they were clean before I tried to calibrate it, and when it was out, this seems to be going just fine now. So this one seems fine, so we'll call it a day. But yeah, people were saying maybe, or like if anybody was thinking that I didn't go through all of that, I've cleared globals and everything, so that must be a defective unit or it is a firmware bug. But other than that, that unit has the wobbliest knobs ever, so I just don't want to deal with it. Now I have two units that seem to be fantastic. I just said we were going to just end this, but we're going to take this out really quick. We're going to do a quick walk around and see what the quality is like. There's Tom Oberheim's signature on it. Very lovely synth. I just like it. The end caps are lovely. I think that's walnut. These smell nice when they come out of the package. I should say my other OB6 really didn't smell nice out of the package either, on top of the switch being broken and it just having weird issues as well. That did not smell nice. This one does. All the other ones did. So maybe something was really wrong with the other OB6 as well. But yeah, the Prophet was definitely jank, but this one's great. And the new Prophet 6 is fine. Again, sorry, rambling. Okay, I'm going to quit it here. Thanks for watching. Bye.